We're joined post-match with Coach Max Bailey. Maxie, we're into the finals. What's the feeling like amongst the boys right now?
Pretty excited because we knew what the case was the last two games, and to come through with two really good wins, it's obviously a good feeling. And then, we get to start again next week with a new season, so to speak.
Collingwood had control of the game for most of the day, leaving us with 18 points to get in the final turn for victory. What was the message to the boys at three-quarter time?
Well, I think we learned a lot from the first half, both teams playing with and against the wind, and they did it better than us going both ways. I think we were able to sit down and actually go, okay, what worked, what didn't, and what can we take out of the way they played it, and also try and stop them. I think they were getting through us really easily in the first half, and we were able to get our team defence set up well enough and with the right intent from each player that they weren't able to get through us as much. So stopping them, and then it wasn't till the last quarter and last half of the last quarter that we were able to actually get on top. So nothing I did there, but the team defence, I think that's where the boys really excelled.
You mentioned that last quarter. We slammed home 7 goals to win the match in that final term, with a number of players stepping up. Andrew Moore and Jackson Ross kicked 2 goals apiece, and Nathan Mullinger-McHugh stood tall all day for us. Who stood out for you in helping us change the momentum of that match?
I thought our mids, and Mark Pitney, Andrew Moore in particular, did that. So I think we're plus 12 clearances of the day, and that was all in the last half, and we ended up kicking 5 goals from stoppage in the last quarter. That was it was a strength all day for Collingwood, their mid, and we were able to get some momentum in the last half. So those two guys in particular, I thought Nathan Mullinger, he just competed so hard all day consistently. And he's had a real up and down year in terms of being in our side, out of the side. And I've just loved the way he's gone about it. The whole year, he's been really even, and I think he's found his niche for us, which is nice.
Both us, Box Hill and Collingwood, are the leading possession winners in the VFL, and they overran us in round 8 this season. Did we take any learnings from that contest early in the season?
Well, we thought we might, but they were doing the same thing to us in the first half. So it wasn't until half time we were able to actually straighten that up. And they're a really good side. So I thought Dacos on the outside for them was strong, and then their inside mids, obviously pretty devastating seeing Woodward go down again, and he was going so well for him and was a bit of a thorn in our side. So it's a real tragedy, that one, but he'd been strong all day.
Today was obviously our biggest match of the season, with a lot of pressure on the side needing to win to make finals. Take us into the group this week. What was the preparation like for this match?
Funny, because I'm a new coach as well, so it's whether you use that as motivation, whether bringing it up potentially brings up more anxiety and nerves. But last week I thought they embraced the challenge of do or die really well. Perhaps early in the year we hadn't embraced it because it didn't matter. There was always next week. We talked about it a little bit, but it wasn't over the top. I thought the players embraced it themselves and seemed to thrive off that. And I think you look back to, even though it's a different group, last year was a bit the same with our last couple of rounds, and then the whole way through the finals it was last gasp. So it seems to be a bit of a trend for us.
You mentioned finals. It was a finals-like atmosphere today at City Oval with that huge crowd. Do you think winning these crunch games against the Northern Blues and Collingwood today is great preparation for us leading into the finals campaign?
I think so. Any game you win is good preparation going in, as long as you get in there. So I look back at last year, and last year was really similar. We had to beat Casey and Geelong, I think, to solidify our spot, and then the games towards the end of the year always turn up the heat a little bit. So particularly against Collingwood, where they have Stephenson and Wells and Sire and then Woodward. They've got some really good players. So whenever you get the chance to play against good opposition, it's good preparation for anything else other than finals. So hopefully it is good for us.
We've won 7 out of our 8 matches this season at Box Hill City Oval. What sort of an impact did that home ground advantage have today?
I don't know. I think everyone feels a bit more comfortable. Not so much with the ground, but the change rooms and our facilities. You sort of know what your preparation before the game, the 2 hours leading up to the game, is going to be. Even for guys driving here, it's familiar, and we're all human, so it's sort of you like what's familiar. So I think that helps, but it doesn't help us now going the next 4 weeks. We're not going to play here, so we've got to learn how to play away.
There's usually a very strong breeze here at City Oval that we saw today as well. Do we have to make any significant adjustments to our game plan or significant adjustments to players' game style in order to counteract that wind?
into the wind a little bit. But it was one of those things we learned. Last week was a bit the same, although the wind was slightly stronger today. Things we did last week that worked didn't work today, and so we changed a few little things, but really it was the players who often takes a quarter or a half to get used to what's going on and then build from there, and they did that today.
And finally, Andrew Moore and David Mira were announced as Box Hill All-Stars today. What sort of impact have those boys had on the club in your time here at the Box Hill Hawks?
Well, it's a great initiative by the club to do that, I think, and Morey, particularly the last 3 years, has been a really strong leader on field. He just leads by example, and both Box Hill and Hawthorn guys hold him in really high regard because of that, I think. So he's been huge. And then David, I played with David when I was running around here, and he's got so much respect. I know now he's at Hawthorn, but even before he was at Hawthorn, he had so much respect from the Hawthorn guys, and he is a quality player at this level and AFL level, and so is Andrew. So they lead by example on field. I think that's the biggest thing, and then they are just your average bloke around the club, and people know they can talk to them about anything. So pretty happy to have him in the team.